Good evening, everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 16th. Welcome to another episode of Deliberate Discussions. I am your co host, Vicki Horton,
And I'm your co-host, Adric Parker.
and together we are.
Deliberate Discussions. How are you this evening,
I'm
Sunshine?
good, friend. How you doing?
I can't complain. I'm yet holding on. It's been a good week so far, in which I'm, back at work tomorrow, and I can't
Yeah,
complain.
you
Can't
look
complain.
good. Shaved. You got your new glasses.
Sunshine.
Good.
Yeah, I thank you. I actually got new glasses. And I always every so often shave my beard off and start over again. And some people get mad when I do it. I'm like, it's just hair. It grows back very fast. Um, but it just gets to a point where it starts driving me crazy, and I'd be like, okay, you gotta go.
You so cute.
Yeah, I try to keep it together for an old man, almost 50 years old, but
Oh, listen, I would love to chit chat with you, but baby, we got to get on for these discussions tonight because
yeah,
after much deliberation this week, I'm exhausted.
Fred, I'm sick of your
Like,
ass. I swear to God,
like how many times did we change up the agenda for tonight?
I
Like,
swear to God, we done changed up so many times.
oh
Everything that we
my
had for
God.
tonight, even to today, like a
Yes.
few hours
An
ago. Like,
hour
okay,
ago, you're like, oh, I want to change this. I'm like, okay, whatever.
but let's get
Welcome,
into it.
everybody.
Let's start with some advertising. Go ahead.
Okay. If you would like to promote your business, your product, your event that is coming up, you can do that right here on Deliberate Discussions Live with Vicki and Thadric. We're right here. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also TikTok. I think we post our lives on TikTok as well. But anyway, if you would like to promote your business, your product, or your event, please give me a call, 561-325-1488.
Thank you. And let's talk about our amazing coyote.
Coyotes! Okay,
That's how
y'all,
you do
it
it.
is now 10 days to kickoff. And when y'all see number 10, y'all seeing my baby. That's right, number 10. That's my baby,
Yeah.
though. So, yes,
Wait, let me see the jersey. Put it up again, friend. Put
that's
it up
my baby
again.
right there. Number 10.
Oh my God, I love that
And you know
jersey.
what? They
That's
won't even
beautiful.
be
All
wearing
right.
white jerseys this year. They are going to be in New Jersey
Okay.
this year. We are so excited to get the kickoff going. Boynton Beach, they are going to be at Ezel Hester, 1901 North Seacrest Boulevard in Boynton Beach on April 26th at 5 p.m. Admission is $10 for adults. Children 10 and under are free to get in. And also, we will be celebrating the birthday of Ace Ware that entire weekend. So please, Boynton, y'all come on out as the West Palm Beach Coyotes face the Virginia Panthers. Virginia is coming in busloads. So come on, Palm Beach County. Let's get up. Let's show these girls some support. Come on out. Bring the kids out. Make it a day of fun and celebration. Waiting to see you there.
What's that address again for me, friend?
1901 North Seacrest Boulevard, Boynton Beach, Florida. Ezel Hester Center.
Perfect. And the game starts at 5 p.m. and the admission is $10, folks. Let's show up
Yes.
and show out
And if
for
you
the
would like to
Coyotes.
donate to the West Palm Beach Coyotes or even become a sponsor, please go to their Facebook page, Instagram page, and now they have a TikTok page, West Palm Beach Coyotes, or you can email them at wpbcoyotes@gmail.com, or you can go right to their website, www.wpbcoyotes.com.
Perfect. Thank you. Looking forward to that. So,
Ooh,
friend,
child.
this first story that I'm going to cover, I remember when I sent this to you and what your reaction was.
You already know. I don't even know why you even sent that to me because you knew what I was going to say.
I tell you, I literally had to play this about 3 times because I wanted to make sure I was hearing what I was hearing. But
I
so
was
let's
saying,
get
all I can
right
say
on
is I
into
wish you
this
knew
because
me.
okay. All right. So let's get right into this here. Ooh, not that one. Um,
There you
where
go.
he at?
Yep,
Because
done.
this was
Mhm.
there you go, right? Just let me hit. Um,
1 second.
Oh, there you go, right there.
Hi, how you doing? Okay. I was wondering if you had a chance to talk about those cameras in the back by the pool.
Who are you?
I'm your neighbor.
Okay.
I was wondering if we could discuss those cameras that are pointing towards our house.
They're not towards your house, they're towards my pool.
But we don't know that.
Well, I know that, and that's all that matters.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I'm not, ma'am.
No,
I'm asking you.
What is your problem?
Well, because I have cameras too, okay? And I know the range, and we have kids up there. And there's not supposed to be any cameras in the backyard. That's your safe place. You have cameras in the front of your house.
You have a lot of nerve telling us where to have my cameras around my
Well, because they're pointing towards my house.
You know what? You shouldn't have moved in here with kids. How about that?
What do you mean?
You're in a 55 community.
It doesn't matter, ma'am. It does not matter, ma'am.
Did you forget?
It doesn't matter.
What parent takes kids into a neighborhood like this?
What do you mean? It's not a safe neighborhood for kids? Is that what you're trying to say?
You're coming to me with your problem.
No, I'm coming because the cameras are pointing to my house that I have young kids.
You know what?
Why don't you have them on the other side pointing towards your house?
You have a lot of nerve coming here and tell me how to mount my cameras.
Yes, because they're pointing. I don't feel safe that you're pointing them towards my house.
Call the cops and see if it's illegal. I don't think so.
Ma'am,
No.
I'm trying to be friendly because we're neighbors, okay? I really am. I'm just asking if you can move them to the other side to point them to your pool, not towards my house. That's all I'm asking.
First of all, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I do know,
No,
man.
Sorry. We're not moving out.
Wait, I gotta get into this first comment. From my crazy husband. What you say, man? I wish a bitch would. Friend, I could not fathom
Well, you can't.
the fact that this man.
But I said she giving him too much motherfucking air.
Too much time. First of all, she went back and forth for way too long on her porch.
I don't
with
feel
this
safe. What you mean? First you said it was about the kids, and then when she called your ass out on the 55 and over community, you talking about you don't feel safe. Like, bro, get your ass on my porch, or you get your ass.
So first of all, she said, well, it's facing our pool. He said, well, I don't know that. Bitch, what is it for you to know? What do you mean?
I don't know why I put these damn eyelashes on tonight.
I could not. And then the fact that you raising hell and you got children living in a 55 and older community. Now I'm gonna go call the HOA. Free.
He got a whole different set of laws that he got to abide by. The HOA is the last of his words. Because when them older people out there find out about them goddamn children,
I'm like, what? What?
When them other old folks find out all the motherfucking children living out there, like, first of all, I have cameras at my house too. Okay, how the hell we know where your camera's pointing?
Girl, my house is like Fort Knox. There's a camera on every part of this house. You hear what I say? You come in this yard or you get too close to it, it's coming on.
A bitch would show up at my motherfucking door like that. And see, this is why we gotta go over to YouTube, y'all. See how we come across this stuff and
okay.
We go to cussing. And you know, this will cuss. We do cuss on here every now and again. We do. Listen, I wish a bitch would come to my door to my motherfucking camera pointing. And how you know where my camera pointing? What, you got a camera inside my house? You can see inside my house?
I guess the thing that just bothered me so bad about this is how much time she gave him.
Minutes back.
How much
she can't even get those back. That part of her life has been wasted, and she will never get that time back. That's just crazy.
Only thing she should have said to him was like, bitch, if you don't get off of my porch, get out of my yard. So, that's it. And close my door.
I would have just slammed.
Like, what, girl, what?
Like, if you don't get your ass off my motherfucking porch. Listen, the next time I open the door, I would have had a motherfucking gun pointed at his ass. I really would have. Then I tell you to get your ass off my porch.
Talking about, and then you talk about what she told him, call the police to see if it's
Somebody,
illegal.
you got kids. What kind of parent are you to bring kids in a 55 community?
No, and then for him to end it by saying, "Look, I'm trying to be a good because we're neighbors or something." First of all, that's not the way you came here.
I like
First
how
of
she
all,
closed the door in his
you
face.
get what I'm saying?
He walked away. Listen,
But you know, it's people like him that will cause me to be
that's
very
true.
petty.
That's true. But I just wonder what kind of neighbor. Like, is he like the next door neighbor? Obviously, yeah. Because he said the camera. And what the hell is he doing looking at a camera? What the fuck is you doing back down that backyard looking around at the camera?
He said behind him. So apparently he lives directly
So
behind
why is
her.
he looking at his
And then he's
motherfucking window at this lady cameras? Like, what you doing back? What you doing back there? You don't want her to see.
Exactly. So I can see. I mean, I have neighbors that have cameras in the back. I got a camera in my backyard. You get what I'm saying? And our camera sits right outside on our house, right outside our glass door, and we can see all the way in the goddamn back where the farmland is. Okay. So, but it's just like, that's my camera. Like, who cares?
Listen,
You know,
she wasted too much time. I'm sorry, that's too much of her air, her energy, and like I said, that's just part of her life that she can never get back. Like, bro, you just literally wasted 3 minutes of my time.
3. Like, why am I even standing here at my door explaining myself to you about my goddamn cameras? Like, are you kidding me?
Look, Maria says, baby, it couldn't have been Sean Parker. Hell no. I know.
My mama would have came out that house swinging. Yes, like, if you don't get the hell off my porch. But yeah, it's just the nerve of people. And then my thing is this, on a serious note, you have to be very careful when going to knock on somebody's door about some bullshit.
I mean, it looked like it was daylight, but still, you gotta be very careful. Listen, I'm telling you now, they can't come here. I'm at somebody else's house. They can't even come over here. Don't come. Listen, you better have a good reason for knocking on this door.
But the thing about it is, you have to be. And when I'm okay with having a conversation. I may very well still shut you down in a very nice way, but be mindful of how you speak to me. And the way that he spoke, the way he just came out on 10 about these goddamn cameras that bother him so bad or whatever. Get you some and point yours over here. It's okay.
Ma'am.
Yeah, but get some cameras up. At least all of us got some security. Just in case some shit go down, I can get your footage and you can come over here and get mine.
She said the backyard is supposed to be her safe place. How the hell can it be safe if she ain't got no damn camera back there?
Exactly.
Come on now, you gotta make sense. Get your ass out my porch. Get your ass out my porch.
Okay.
Don't come back over here. Like, don't come back over here.
Yeah.
Stupid ass.
Okay. Yeah. So that was hilarious. I'm so glad. I was just like, I could not believe when I found that, and I was just like, now this is some bullshit if I ain't never seen it before. But
I had to put my damn. I said, what that is shit like this? What you doing? Like, you know I'm a snap because I don't like people like that. But to our viewers, what do you guys think? What if someone knocked on your door and told you that they didn't appreciate your cameras, your security system, because they felt it was pointing at them? How would you feel about that? We want to know. Go ahead and put that in the comments. We will go back and we will read all the comments. But we just thought we'd start the show off with that one. That was just too funny right there.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But let's take this thing on over to New York.
Yeah.
You heard me thinking. Okay. All right. Let's take this on over to New York. When I found this story, it just touched my heart so. And it's so funny because we had this story ready for our closing tonight, but it just touched my spirit. So I was like, we got to change this, friend. We got to change this. Oh, Lord Jesus. Where he at? Lord have mercy. Where everybody at?
You and me, Josh. You and me both.
Okay. Oh, here you go, right here.
No, I don't know. I think I'm on Fukan.
DeLorean, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Let me see. You got a 91 average, by the way. Very smart kid. You're Isaiah's big brother?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he runs in the family, huh?
Yeah.
You guys very smart. That's what I'm talking about. So first thing you're gonna get from Island Arc is $100.
Ooh, blue
All right.
onyx.
Thank you.
Island Arc shirt. Wear this shirt, man. Great for grabs. And if you like to play games, like I told Isaiah, you could go to my friend's Kickback Gamers Lounge. You play there for a whole week. You gotta wear the shirt and show them your report card at the same time. You get to play for the whole week. And go ahead, grab whatever you want.
All right, thank you.
All right, DeLorean. What else you want?
That's it.
No, man, grab some more
Wow.
stuff, bro. I come.
That's right.
I'm gonna give you a bag. You put it in the bag, all right? There you go, DeLorean. Make sure you bring me your next report card, all right? We're gonna start a program through the library. If you finish that program, you get $50 from Island Arc plus you grab whatever you want, all right?
That's good. Smart boy.
There you go. There you go. DeLorean, here you go. Keep up the hard work, all right?
All right, thank you, Island Arc.
You're welcome, man.
That is
This
just
story
that
so-
right there is so amazing. I wish not just in New York, and New York is actually pretty big on doing that at their bodegas. And for those that don't know what a bodega is, it's just a corner convenience store. I wish that they would do that down here. Tony's Market, Mario's, Hagwood. I really wish that they would do stuff like that here for the kids because it keeps kids out of trouble. It helps them to do better in school, and it takes a village.
It does. It
So
truly,
it
truly
would be
does.
nice to have that here, but New York is notorious for doing that in certain areas of New York, and I think that is just that's awesome.
And then to also see, I went through his entire TikTok page, and he does this all the time for all the kids in the neighborhood. And even when their grades are not so good, he
Oh, wow.
holds them accountable. And this is what I need to see from you. This is what you got to pull this up. This is what your average was the last time, and this is what it is now. So I know that you can do it. And it what I found so special about this is that this man in this bodega, and he's the owner of the bodega, he cares so much
Yeah.
about the community. It's so often that these businesses come into our neighborhoods and all they
That's
care
it.
about is the
Almighty
dollar.
dollar.
All they care about is the
Almighty,
dollar.
that brown dollar.
Exactly. And the fact that correct. The fact that this man that's not even from this country is investing in our children, in our community, and also encouraging them, supporting them, pushing them to do better, that meant so much. That
Smart.
speaks volumes for
91%.
the
I
children.
mean, $100.
Yeah.
Just imagine, and look what he picked out. He didn't just pick out a bunch of junk food. He got eggs. Come on, eggs cost like what, $12, $13 a dozen? And in New York, I'm
sure
telling you,
cheap
they probably about
nowadays.
$15, $16 in New York. Yeah, I think
More
eggs in
than
New York
cheap,
probably
yeah.
cost more than a pack of cigarettes in New York.
Exactly. So the fact that, and then also just to see, there were some children that had come into the store that did not, of course, all of them know about what he does. And there was like a little girl, and he encouraged her, like, you got to do this, you got to pick this grade up. The next time you come, if your grades are at this point, at, running an average of 91, you'll get $50. You'll get, and these children were so excited leaving the store, knowing that they had something to look forward to. And excuse me. And then also the fact that one thing that touched me about the little boy that was just on that video, when he went back, he picked up groceries, things that they need at home. Not only did he think about himself, he thought about his family. And that
Maria,
meant so much.
$25 for some eggs in New York?
New York eggs ain't
Dang,
cheap.
I said they probably, I knew they probably was more than a pack of cigarettes. Hey, Pam, how are you? Pam says,
Mhm.
isn't that nice, Pam? Wouldn't it be nice to have that, in our local stores?
Correct.
That would just be so awesome, to have, especially like I said in Delray Beach, 10th store, Tony's, Mario's, Hagwood, Bilo. It would just be so nice if those owners could invest in our kids and, you know, our community the way that this man does. We would love to see that. So thank you so much for sharing that, Cedric.
Correct. Now, the next story, I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
in
I just
Texas,
hope it
right?
wasn't in Florida because Florida been, we had to scratch all Florida stories.
We had to take y'all off the docket this week because it's just too much back to back.
You
with
ain't
y'all.
even
It's
got to
always
take
something
it though.
with us.
You really don't. You from Florida too. You from
I'm just gonna
Florida
be
too. Don't do that.
Okay. Y'all governor ain't shit. It's just y'all. It's just too much. It's just-
I couldn't do. We had to scratch all those stories because Florida's just showing out. I'm sorry, y'all. We had to scratch all of that. I just couldn't do it. I'm exhausted. Florida just making me tired.
So let's get on to this young lady here.
Do you know how it feels to get bullied? Do you understand how it feels to get bullied? Do you understand? It's people out here in this world really getting bullied and they killing themselves because of this type of stuff. You need to be ashamed. All y'all need to go home and think about this. Matter of fact, I want y'all to all come in with papers, 10 pages on bullying. Because I'm not going to stand for that. Are you okay? I want y'all to apologize right now. Apologize right now or get out of my classroom. He should have worn that hat. Apologize right now. Get the fuck out of my classroom. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Sorry.
Are you okay? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I want that on my desk first thing in the morning. Do y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Now back to the top quiz. Put your hat back on.
Baby, she did that.
And the fact that what she said was very true. Very, very true. Regardless, regardless if this young man was wearing a mega hat, it still doesn't constitute being
That's a
bullied.
big boy too, though. You see him?
Every-
That's a little boy that's being bullied.
Exactly. I don't agree with anything that the Republican Party stands for. I don't agree with anything that Donald Trump stands for. But absolutely nobody has a right to be bullied. Regardless, that is a choice you made, and that's a choice you got to live with. But I have no right to come over and to bully you for making that choice. I don't have to do it because all of y'all bastards that part of that party is fucking around and finding out right now. So I ain't got to open my mouth. I got to say a word. I ain't got to bully. Wear your shirts, wear your hats, flag your flag, everything. Put on your bumper stickers. I wouldn't give a damn because all of y'all fucking around and finding out.
These kids, this looks like it's a high school. Are these kids even able to vote yet? I mean, obviously they're learning. I mean, maybe he doesn't know what that hat stands for. Maybe he does. But it does not constitute bullying. And the way this teacher handled that, she was very, very emotional. So it's like bullying, it seemed like that was kind of personal to her, and she does not tolerate it. Get the F out of my classroom. That's the only thing I did not, when she cursed, that's the only thing that I'm afraid is going to jeopardize her reaction, that they will use that one word to put her job on the line. But as far as what the speech she gave, and the punishment she gave, or the consequences she's making them pay, 10 pages on bullying.
Correct. And the fact that she was able to separate politics from bullying, from what was right and what was wrong, and I commend her. Now, I have no clue what party she's a part of. Bullying is bullying. Wrong is wrong. What do y'all think in the comments? What do y'all think about that story?
And you know, the fact that she, under normal circumstances, I don't think she would have told him to put the hat on. I think, when kids walk into a classroom, that they're supposed to take their hats off. But this one instance, she told, put your hat back on. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Put it on.
Like I said, that was a big kid. Like, y'all, and then whoever yelled him, he shouldn't have wore that hat. How you gonna tell somebody what they shouldn't wear?
Exactly. I wish we were able to see what you had on. I could have been like, well, girl, you should have that. So what constitute you to have this? What's the problem with what I chose to wear? And why what you got on is okay. You get what I'm saying? But I'm glad, and it's so, and this happens so much in school, starting from kindergarten on up, where these kids are bullied. So I will honestly say we need
Oh
more
yeah.
teachers
Oh
like that
yeah.
that's going to
Oh
stand up to bullying, period. And also parents getting involved. When you allow your children to speak, allow your children to tell you
yeah.
how their day was, versus you saying, if they're coming home and speaking to you saying, hey, I was made to feel this way, this person said something to me, this person said that, oh, this person hit me, versus you saying man up, or it's all right, don't be no pussy, don't be no fag.
Yeah.
No, listen to your children.
And she
Listen
did
to them.
did that teacher there is like none other. We don't find teachers like that these days. And
Mhm.
that's nothing against our current educators, but she handled that so perfectly.
Yeah, I thought she did as well, because like you said, we need more people, more parents, more to
Mhm.
stand up to to stuff like this, because it's bad. It's really, really bad, and you have so many children that are killing themselves, and just doing god awful things because they're being bullied at school. So we most definitely need more people to stand up.
So shout out to her
You
and
for,
all the other educators just like her.
y'all quiet tonight in these comments. What's
Y'all
wrong
quiet.
with
I see
y'all? What's
y'all
going
here
on?
watching. Y'all kind of quiet.
Okay. Maria, Josh quiet. Where
Josh
have
is
our
where is
ride or
he?
dies at tonight?
Oh,
Josh
okay.
here, he upstairs.
Well, so
Y'all
let us know
quiet
what y'all
tonight.
think in the comments. We go back and we read them anyway and respond. So let us know. All right, let's get to this next story
Okay, all
because you know me,
right. Free, you've been cussing for days about this damn story. Okay.
shoot it.
You've
I can't stand brown folks.
you
You see my son's head? This is unacceptable. He got bald spots here. These are nicks.
And what you see on this 17-year-old's head isn't from a trip to the wrong barber, says his mom, Nikki Battle.
Now it's going to take at least 2 to 3 months for it to grow back.
Instead, Battle says this is the work of a teacher at Lawrence Central High School, cutting her son Jonathan's hair Tuesday. And that's not all.
He cut my child's eyebrows and facial hair.
Sorry.
And it looks bad. You have nothing to absolutely apologize about.
Nikki says Jonathan was in the process of growing his hair out so he could have it braided next month.
It was an afro. It was a big old beautiful afro.
But Jonathan says recently some students were making fun of him for it. It's not the first time the varsity wrestler says he's been picked on at school.
It's kind of horrible.
Jonathan's on the autism spectrum and says he's sometimes the target of bullying.
Yeah, it's too late.
And that's just what his mom says happened Tuesday when a student shoved Jonathan at school.
He tried to walk away, and that's when the kid pushed him. And he grabbed him in self-defense. So the school told me to come up there and pick him up.
When she did, Battle discovered a teacher had cut Jonathan's hair.
I feel disrespected. I feel left out, that you do something without consulting the parent. That's not your kid.
Battle says she's not surprised Jonathan didn't tell the teacher no.
He's not going to argue with an adult at all.
I was like, okay, he's gonna fix me up, yeah.
The school district issued a statement saying they took the allegations seriously and investigated immediately. The district says the teacher involved acted with the best of intentions and was just trying to help Jonathan out.
You gonna go
You
first?
know what? That child wanted that haircut. He just said it. He said, okay, he gonna fix me up. And let me just back up to her. You were talking about that was a beautiful afro. What I seen was an ultra perm with a middle part. That's what I seen. Now, who put ultra perm in the boy head? That's probably why the man cut the boy hair. And that haircut was not messed up. It had a nice little tape. I ain't see no bald spots, just where she moving her finger in that boy head. She wanted her 5-10 minutes of fame. She got it. Nikki Battle, you got it. And you got Deliberate Discussions attention tonight. Yes, you got my attention tonight. Wasn't nothing wrong with that child hair. You trying to sue somebody. Don't be trying to get nobody in trouble for doing something that your ass should have did as a mother. It's about a beautiful afro. Girl, that was an ultra perm with a bunch of grease in that boy head. You ought to be ashamed of yourself as a mother, letting your child go to school with his head like that. Look like you put a perm in his afro. That's what happened. And now you're trying to blame it on somebody else.
Well, the way that I feel, I'm just gonna say it. That mama's so full of shit.
Girl, sit your ass down, wasting the taxpayers' money.
tell you, this young man was so mannerable. Okay, he was so mannerable, and even himself, he said, "Well, I said, okay, he's
He
gonna
said
hook me up."
exactly. He said, "Okay, he's gonna pick me up." Yeah, you know.
Exactly. So you upset because, and then my thing is, as I watched the story and listened to the young man, because he's not a little boy, he's a young man. He
That's
wanted
what I
his
think.
haircut. He
Yep.
wanted his haircut. And obviously he had enough sense to say, yeah, I'm good. He gonna hook me up or whatever, and maybe he didn't want that
Did you
perm
see?
you
But
got
did
in
you
his
see the
head.
perm? You saw him with the afro,
Yes,
but
I
then you
saw
saw
it.
the middle part with the perm. It just reminded me of when I was
Exactly.
young and I cut all my hair off and it was nappy, and I put the green grease on it. What that green grease called?
Mhm.
I put that on there, and I went to school with that.
And I'm curious to know, and like it's also because Maria made this comment. She said it is not the teacher's right to cut his hair. Okay, and I understand your point. I'm curious to know, especially with this young man being on being having autism, but I'm curious to know
Yeah.
how old he is, because it's so often that children that 17, 18, 19 years old are still in high school with their autism. So if he's 18 years or older, he's old enough to make a decision. And it was very obvious that this young man, I think this young man is more afraid of his mama than he is of the teacher.
That's what the problem is. Notice how he said sorry. Yes, that's a typical kind of
Sorry.
response from a child with autism, that sorry when they think they've done something wrong. But in some states like Chicago, kids can be 16 and considered adults to make their own decisions. They can drop out of school. They can consent to getting a tattoo. They can consent to getting their haircut. And it works, pretty much
Correct.
the same, I believe, for boys in Atlanta, in Georgia, than it does for the girls. So Pam says, don't touch my child's hair. I totally get it. But I'm gonna be like this. If me as a mother sent my child to school with his head looking a hot mess, it's about a beautiful afro. Yeah, it once was a beautiful afro, but baby, I don't know what you did. You ran a hot comb through that boy's head or something. And that's probably why the teacher stepped in and you want me to cut your hair?
But and then also, yeah, because I think that it was an afro at one point. And then my thing is, how did he get this whole straight relaxer look or whatever? And then if he's being bullied because of his hair, or of his appearance or whatever, and he's going to the teacher complaining about it, I can understand the teacher's position with trying to help this child, like, hey, I don't like this haircut or whatever. Should it have been a conversation with the mother? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, they should not have spoken with the mother. But I personally feel as if the way that the mother is going about it, she's full of shit.
Now, Paul says, I thought the side by side showed a bush. It did show a bush on one side, but on the other side of the screen, it showed him with a part and his hair was combed down. And that's probably why the kids were making fun of him. If you can show that again, Patrick, just that part of it.
Yeah.
You have to play the whole entire thing over. But I just want y'all to see this child hair.
I have to pay the whole thing to get to that point, but I don't mind.
We're gonna play it again. We just want you to just pay attention to the side by side of this child sitting there with that with his hair combed down the middle. Hey Vincent, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
You see my son's head? This is unacceptable. He got bald spots here. These are nits.
On this 17-year-old's head isn't from a trip to the wrong barber, says his mom, Nikki Battle.
Now it's gonna take at least 2 to 3 months for it to grow back.
This is the work of a teacher at Lawrence Central High School, cutting her son Jonathan's hair Tuesday. And that's not
Ultra perm, right there.
Ultra perm.
Exactly. With that bergamot hair grease on it. And who hands them is?
Exactly.
Them her hands on his head. Yeah. Ultra perm with some bergamot on it.
She said, you see what she said? Hold on, what she said.
Sorry. And it looks bad. You have nothing to absolute.
First of all, he said sorry. She said it looks bad. That boy hair don't look bad. He shaved him up. He hooked the boy up.
That child head.
Apologize about
Nikki says Jonathan was in the process of growing his hair out so he could have it braided
That's,
next month.
that's the side
It
by
was an
side with the
afro.
bush. But look at that ultra permanent baby head. And he's wearing the same shirt in that side by side.
Yeah. So my question is, did he have the afro first, and then she went in there and put that relax in it before she can braid it out or something?
We're gonna find that out. We're gonna get a hold of Miss Nikki Battle. Yeah, UBLE.
Oh, beautiful afro. Jonathan says recently some students were making fun of him for it. It's not the first time.
So
the
exactly.
varsity
So like
wrestler
she
said
said,
he's
some
been
kids was
picked on
making
at
fun
school.
of him for it.
I mean, I would
You
be
know,
appreciative
so it's just like,
kids were making fun of my child and a teacher did. That's a good job. But whoever cut that boy hair did a good job.
it's like Maria say, no, he's not able to make decisions fit himself. Him being on the autopsy, and I disagree with that.
I mean,
I
we
know a
got
lot
to
of people on the
decide. We're gonna treat
crutches.
them fair. We're gonna treat them like, you know, normal people, or we're gonna treat them like, you know, someone with autism or special needs. I mean, the system it's like, you know, you're pulling me side. You know, we got to pick a side. Either we want to treat them.
Oh, this young man is on
Yes,
the wrestling
so
team.
I mean, I don't know. It's just ain't nothing wrong with that haircut. And I'm sticking to what I said. Ain't nothing wrong with the damn haircut.
I would agree, Vicky. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the haircut, and I feel as if the teacher only did it because of the young man asked him to do it. And then, like he said, I thought that he was going to, you know, hook me up. You know, do I think that maybe the mother should have been notified about it? You know, absolutely. But I don't think what he did warrants her to be calling down to the media and acting a damn fool like she acted.
That's what I was looking for, Pam. That's what I was looking for. James Brown special. That's just what it was with that ultra prime with that bergamot hair grease in it. Jules.
And Maria, I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying. The teacher should have called the mother to ask her permission to cut his hair. Absolutely. I agree. The mother should have been contacted about that. But what I'm saying is her behavior and the way that she's reacting to it just does not warrant that to me. I think that she's full of shit. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with his haircut, for one. Nothing wrong with it. The young man looks really nice compared to what he had previously. For two, the young man said himself he was okay with it.
He didn't sound like he was autistic then. He said, okay. I was like, okay, yeah, he's gonna fix me up.
He gonna hook me up. And he was okay with that. He went to his teacher because he was being bullied about this goddamn James Brown special, you know. And the teacher said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna do what I can." Yes, I agree. Mother should.
How you like me now? Yeah. What's up? How you like me now? I'm looking good now. Yeah. What's up? You see that tape?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the mother should. I agree with that. The mother, there should have been a conversation with the mother. I just don't feel as if her reaction to this does not warrant, you know, all of that. It's just
nothing wrong with that haircut.
Yeah, the child wanted his haircut. Okay, he looked a lot better than what the hell you had him going to school with. You ought to have been happy he came home with the haircut he came and you ain't had to pay for it.
It's just the parenting thing. You will want somebody to reach, like kind of like what Mr. Thaddeus said. You will want somebody to reach out to you if it's in regards to your child, because something, okay, like clearly he had hair before. You know how these people is.
But he had the James Brown special.
I get that, but still, you know how these people is by their kids and their parents.
So that's kind of like when I sent you to Mr. Clay. And
yeah.
And Vicky, I will say this, Vicky. You know what, Vicky? I will say this. Jaleesa is absolutely right. Vicky, I will say this. Jaleesa's absolutely right, because if Jaleesa, one of them children of yours went to school and somebody did this, you would be on the goddamn news too. Okay,
I would have been on there talking about look at this ball spots. That's one thing I would have been. I would have been on the news going to jail.
The way that she is reacting to this just does not warrant that. She's
acting like it's like, oh my God, my son's hair is like.
It's a goddamn world. Like, what did he do? And you see how you saw how the school board responded, that the teacher thought that he was doing something in the best interest of the child. And I really think the
teacher had very good intentions.
I thought so as well. I thought so as well. I totally
to her house to do that story. She wasted deliberate discussions time, and I'm mad. Nikki Battle. Girl, you got your fame. It's over with now.
Now, I will say when me and Josh have our children and we send them all down to the schoolhouse, I will say call my phone and be like, well, Mr. Parker, little man is over here doing, are you? It's fine. Now, if little Shaniqua walk in this house and you done took out one of her ponytails, then we're gonna have a different conversation.
Them knockers in there now.
You can-
And them borettes. Them knockers and borettes in my baby hair.
If she come in this door ain't got but one shoe, be like, well, where you understand?
Don't mess with my child hair. Don't mess with my child clothes.
Yeah, that ain't what I sent you to school with. I totally understand that the mother should have been contacted. Totally agree with that. I just don't agree with the way she has responded or reacting to this.
It is not even that. That haircut is not that serious, and the haircut was nice.
That little boy so petrified of his mama, it don't make no sense. I know he can't wait to get up out of that house.
Sorry for. You have nothing to be sorry for. Get your ass on Nikki Battle.
Now let's talk about when we talk about parents and children.
Oh. You really got me rolling this week. You say this to trigger me.
Don't matter. I work. I'm grown. I just went to my tax lady. She talking about you keep claiming me. It don't matter why you keep putting me on your taxes. As long as you got me coming in here, I'm gonna keep claiming. And don't come in my face. Get all your shit away from me. Man, I ain't even gonna get no face. Take all your shit away. This is the first year I worked a full year. I don't get.
She said, Mom said, I don't give a fuck.
Listen, she said, as long as you got mail coming up. Okay.
I'm gonna keep
now, if that's the only case, then the daughter does have a fraud case, identity fraud case against her mother for filing her on her taxes. Okay? Only if that's the only reason she filed on the tax because she got mail.
She clearly said that was the only case she did it. That's the only. She said, as long as you still got mail coming here, well, that means I don't give a damn how old you is.
Professional, and Juju is also a tax professional. I'm gonna tell you, I claimed Juju until you was 21, 22? I don't know. I claimed her the whole time she was in college. Okay, so anyway, let me tell you something. As a tax professional, if you are a child and you are living at home with your parents. If your parents provide more than 50% of your living expenses, they can claim you on their taxes as a dependent. Okay? There are certain parameters that do fit under that, okay, for the earned income credit and the additional child tax credit. Once a child turns age 15 in that calendar year, they no longer qualify for the additional child tax credit. The earned income credit is what gives everybody, whether they have dependents or not, based on their income tax bracket. Income tax bracket. Okay? Now, the relationship plays in the part. That has to be son or daughter, stepdaughter, stepson. I hate that word. Half brother, half sister, sister, brother, whatever. It has to be a familial relationship. Okay, you can't go over there and claim man churn because he want to sell his child so he can get a couple $1,000s for the tax year. You can't do that. That's illegal because that child ain't no relation to you at all. It has to be a direct descendant or relative of yours. Now, Little Miss Thing here, she getting all mad. This is the first time I done worked all year. Bitch, go get you a place then. Because obviously the mama is paying the rent or the mortgage, and you stand there and you think just because your little ass went to work every single day for a whole year, you proud of that? This is the first time. Look how big your ass is. And this is the first time she worked a full year. What you been doing?
Vicky, I would say that the mother missed an opportunity. I think that should have been used as a teaching opportunity. But again, the mother probably don't know what you just explained. The mother's mindset is, I don't give a damn. This is my house. You get mail here. I'm filing your ass, and I don't give a damn if you was 25 years old. You still living in my goddamn
And I'm
house.
glad.
You get what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad you said
But
25, because even if she was 24 or under and a student, her moms can still claim her as a dependent. She can still file her taxes, even though her mom claimed it. She can file her taxes, and she'll probably get back everything that she
Correct.
paid back in federal withholding. But the thing is, if she's living there in her mom's house, under her mom's roof, and her mom pays the entire bills by herself, if she is reliant upon her mom for more than 50% of her livelihood, then guess what? Her mama can claim her.
now let me ask you this. So what if she's still staying there? She's the age that she is. She's worked every day. But let's say the dad is still paying child support for her. Can the mother
Child
still
support ain't got nothing to
claim
do with
her?
it.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
That's sad, because child support doesn't even play a part in income tax. So,
But do you? I mean, just hearing the interaction between the two, what got to me is that, especially with these older parents, they never want to listen. It's just like, okay, I said what I said, and that's what it's going to be. Now, when you living under somebody else's roof, you got to deal with that, and you got to take that or whatever. But it goes back to what I always say: parents need to take the time to listen to their children. I feel like the young lady had a very valid point that this is my first year that I've worked. You claim me on your taxes or whatever, but she didn't understand that her mom can actually legally still do that, and she can still very well still file her own taxes or whatever. So it was a whole missed teaching opportunity.
It was. I mean, because, and it's unfortunate, in our heritage, we often feel like that, like, okay, we grown, we work, whatever, I can file, since I've been working, I can go ahead and file my own taxes. My mama can't claim me. It's absolutely not true. And Pam, when you say even if she's 31, no. If she's 31, no. The cutoff, she has to be between 19 and 24 and a student, or if she's over the age of 24, she has to be legally disabled. And even still, it comes into play that she doesn't rely on her mother's income. Her mother doesn't provide more than 50% of her income. So if her disability exceeds 50% of her care for the entire year, then no, her mother cannot claim her as a dependent. So there's a lot of factors that play into that. And I'm a tax professional. I get all of the IRS publications, and especially with dependents, earned income credit, additional child tax credit, things like that. I look into all of that. I get those. I signed up for those classes and those emails, and I keep track of that because I know these questions are going to come about. But the mother, her delivery was wrong, yes, but these kids get beside their little funky ass selves.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me, is that parents always think that the children get beside themselves, but parents can say and do and react to things any way that they want by using profanity, by and everything. And the thing that gets me is that the child is always expected to remain this humble, let me shut up type person or whatever, when, I didn't curse at you, Mom. I only asked you a question. I didn't throw anything, Mom. I only asked you a question. I didn't get out of character, Mom. I only asked you a question. I asked you a question. You like, don't motherfucking question me. I'm your motherfucking, like, I'm sorry.
But see, here's the thing with that. Like it was a teaching moment, it should have been a teaching moment for both of them. Now,
I said that. I literally said that.
The daughter, she should have went to mom and said, hey, Mom, since I worked all year, let's go and get our taxes done together. Okay, and let the tax professional explain it to them. Me personally, I explain it to people like that. I'm like, I had, one of my clients, like, can I still claim this person? I'm like, yeah, you absolutely can. Because you're still taking care of her. She's still living in your house. She only has a part-time job. And her daughter was like, but I worked, Miss Vicky, I worked all year. Okay, you paid your mama rent? Who paid for that car you got out there? Who paid your insurance? Who bought all the food? She said, my mama. I said, so what do you buy? She said, I don't pay my mama nothing. I just save my money up so I can go get ready to go to school. No, ma'am. You can still file your taxes. And she did. And she got back everything that she paid in. But, this is key to parents. When you do have this conversation with your kids and your kids do go and file their taxes, kids, this is for you. If you go somewhere else and you know your parent has already claimed you, make sure whoever's preparing your taxes clicks that box that says, yes, I can be claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Because if you don't, they're going to reject your return, saying that your social has already been claimed on another return. And that could very well put your parent in trouble. Now, you got to ask yourself, do you really want to file a fraud claim against your parent? Because if mama go to jail, you really going to be on your own end. So you got to ask yourself, do you feel lucky?
So let me ask you this question then. I'm glad that you said that. So what happens when, back in the day when your mama put the light bill and them chiller name and water bill and all this stuff, and when you turn 18, 19 years old, you already in the credit bureau, you ain't had nothing.
I applied for that social security card and that birth certificate. Damn it, it's mine. I can put whatever I want to put in your name. That I applied. Go get your own social security card. I'm just kidding,
thank
y'all.
you so much
I'm
for
kidding.
always making.
I'm
I want to personally thank you for always making my point. Y'all parents don't never listen to goddamn nothing.
I'm not like that. I gave my kids their credentials. Didn't I? Did I not give you your passport, your social security card, and everything? See, she don't want to say yeah, but she's over there shaking her head. But yes, I gave my kids all this stuff.
I'm glad you said that. Why is it that parents like to hold on to their grown children birth certificate, social security card?
Julissa, where's your birth certificate now? Yeah, where is it? Where? It's in your laptop case. She don't know where it's at. Where's your passport? You don't know where your passport is? I do not have it. See what I'm saying? I gave her that. That's what I'm saying. See, kids lose this kind of stuff. But no, we hold on to, we do hold on to the birth certificate. You know how much a birth certificate costs nowadays?
I remember actually when my mom had when I lived in Georgia, my mom had my birth certificate for a long time, and she had actually given it to me, and I lost it, and she had to go down there again. I remember her cussing me. I see that's why I shouldn't get
it. It's expensive. Okay. It's not cheap, but I held on to my kids' passport, all that stuff is in a safe deposit box. I don't have it anymore. I have my own, but I do have copies of all of their stuff. So, and if they want it, they can get it.
I'm glad we spoke. I'm glad that we had this story because I think that it's good to have these conversations, and I love having these conversations with you as a parent. And me, I don't have any children, but me being a son and an only child and everything, and the relationship that I have with my mother, I love having these type of conversations.
I love having them with you too, friend. I really do.
Because I swear, y'all old school parents, boy, y'all don't get it, Lord. I'd be like, Jesus, be offense, Lord.
Hey, I done messed up the light bill in my name. Who name can I put this in? I ain't gonna pay nobody to put in. Shit. I got their social security number here. You damn right. Credit cards and all. Had credit before they was goddamn 13 years old.
Okay. Now, thank you so much for that discussion. But as we always, 7 minutes from ending the show tonight, but as I always do every Wednesday night, I always play something, just some form of motivation at the end of the show. And tonight, I wanted to play something that helped the men around the world and the men that watch this show. I just thought that when I found this story, when I found this video, it was just so important. And I actually told Vicky, I said, I think I want to make some changes and play this instead because we were going to play something else. But it's so important that we reach out to the men in our lives, that it's always so strong and nobody ever checks on them and are you okay? And things like that. So hold on and let's get this party started here. Where did it go?
What's up, bro? How you doing? Yeah. Did you know that men, we make up 50% of the population, but over 80% of suicide rates? Nobody's gonna talk about that. And that's why I'm here, just to tell you that I'm proud of you. I'm proud to see you made it another day, because everybody, they didn't. And as a man, you're expected to get up and change the world and do everything, and there's no pat on the back. No, there's no reward for doing what you're supposed to do. But I never want you to allow that to have you underestimate your value, to underestimate the hold that your absence would leave if you weren't here. We are all remarkable creatures, man or woman, and it's our job to figure out our gift in this world and to give that. And we give without expectation, and that makes this life work. But I challenge you to come back tomorrow, because your future self needs you. Proud of you, man. Super proud of you, bro. You got this, man. Make sure you come back.
Wow.
Come back tomorrow because your future self needs you.
That gave me chills. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We as men, we are so expected to be the strong ones. We got to carry everything on our back. We have to live up to this standard of society. No one ever tells us, hey, I see you. You got this. You're going to be okay. I'm proud of you.
Check on your man.
Yeah, it was deep. It was very deep. It was very, 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 very deep. And there are times where we as men have to just carry the world on our back, and there are some that do it just so effortlessly, and there's just some that stumble. But keep in mind, in society eyes, you're not supposed to stumble.
This is why self-reflection is so very important for our mental, and especially in our men.
Exactly.
Men, believe it or not, they go through mental challenges as well, emotional challenges. And a lot of them feel that breaking down is a sign of weakness. But to me, a man shedding tears or crying, that's a sign of his strength. That he's steadily trying to hold up everything and he's crying, but yet he's still holding the world on his shoulder. But, it's so heavy and it's so painful, but he's just pushing to get through to it. So that message was very, very motivational to the men. Come back tomorrow. Come back.
Come back because your future self needs you. To all my brothers out there, I love you. And I see you. And you got this. Thank you all for another amazing episode of Deliberate Discussions.
So very much. Thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been, we just wanted to clown tonight because we just had so much going on all week, and work has been working, life has been lifing. Thank you all so very much for, spending this hour with us. And don't forget, y'all, 10 more days. 10 more days. 10 more days. April 26th, Coyotes Boynton Beach, East El Hester, 5 p.m.
And I want to say this before we end the show, Vicky. It is something that's just been heavy on my heart. And I just want to just personally thank all of our loyal supporters that's
Yes.
with us each and
Thank
every
you.
week. Only if y'all knew what goes on behind the scenes for Vicky and I to put this show on every week. Even
Oh,
when we're tired, we're not feeling well, we have, work, we have lives, we have home lives, and we are constantly from the moment we end this show tonight until next Wednesday, we will be deliberating on topics for next week. It never ever stops for us, but you guys show up every week to support us, and we're
we
so
really
grateful.
appreciate you guys. And don't forget our last season,
So,
episode 10 of Deliberate Discussions for this season. We will be having a town hall.
Mhm.
If you or anyone that you know of would like to come on the show and we're going to have open forum. It's open discussion. You can discuss any topic you wish, whether it's current events, past events, something that you have going on. Episode 10, please hit us up on our inboxes or on our email, deliberatenediscussions@gmail.com. We would love to have you on the show.
yes, and we love you guys, and have an
Have a great night,
amazing
everybody.
evening and enjoy the rest of the week.